In this day and time, with all of the innovations that we have in defensive firearms, the good old short barrel pump shotgun is still just hard to beat. It's a great defensive tool. It's easy to operate. It's easy to learn to shoot. The whole family can train on them. And as much as I like the carbines and some of the other long guns that we have to use, I still wouldn't be without this Remington 870.
This is another one of the Remington 870s, and it also has the short barrel. It has the composite stock on it. It has the ghost rings and the extended front sight, but it also has the ammo mount on the receiver, and allows us to carry 6 more rounds of double-aught buck or slugs, which is going to add more weight.
So we got one more gun here too.
Then we have a Mossberg here that's a nice shotgun. It has the forehand with the light and the battery system, adding weight to it. It has the hard stock, composite stock on it, and it has the feed system for the extra rounds buried into the stock. So we can put a couple of rounds in each side that allows us to carry, instead of a side saddle, it allows us to carry it in the stock.
The side saddle ammo carrier, the butt cuff, the extended magazines, any of those can have their place and have their use. Find out what works for you, but keep in mind you want to keep the weight down as much as you possibly can. And now we're going to go down range, and we're going to put some birdshot and some buckshot and even some slugs in the air and kind of see how these shotguns perform. One of the issues we hear discussed a lot is using the defensive shotgun inside the home. And many of us recommend that you consider using birdshot in that home situation. But I think people are a little concerned, well, I don't know how powerful birdshot might be. I don't know how effective birdshot might be. So from 3 yards here, I'm going to fire good old Federal 7.5 bird load here, 1 1/8 of 7.5 shot. I'll fire it high on the paper target, and then I'm going to fire a load of Federal buckshot, 9 pellets, in the lower portion of the target, so that you can compare the density of pattern between birdshot and buckshot. There's the birdshot. Now let's try some buckshot. So you see the comparison between birdshot and buckshot, the spread of the pattern are very, very close from 3 yards. One of the issues we hear discussed a lot is using the defensive shotgun inside the home. And many of us recommend that you consider using birdshot in that home situation. Now we're going to move back to 5 yards and let you see what birdshot will do from that distance. Now on the birdshot there at the top, the hole to the lower right is probably from the shotgun wad. So you see the pattern of the birdshot, the buckshot are still very close. Birdshot in this range would be a very effective tool in home defense. Now let's move back to 7 yards and we'll try it again. So you see at 7 yards, the birdshot is starting to spread just a little bit. 7 yards, 21 feet. That's still pretty much the average room in the American homes today. I still think birdshot has proven itself to be a really good choice for use in the home. Now we're going to load with buckshot, move back to even farther ranges, and get an idea of how buckshot spreads as the distance increases. I'm standing at the 10-yard line, and what we're going to do now is fire Federal double-aught buckshot through my shotgun at 10 yards, and then at 15 yards, and at 20 yards. So obviously as the distance increases, you see that the buckshot pattern will spread. Now one thing I point out to you, at 20-yard target, you notice the pattern has begun to spread pretty good. At somewhere around 20 to 25 yards, someplace in there, that pattern is going to go off target. You're not going to have all of your buckshot pellets on that target. As a defensive shooter, you need to remember that you own every piece of lead you send down range. You hit the bad guy 8 times, but one pellet gets away, injures someone, damages property, you own that pellet too. So someplace in this range, depending on your gun, 20 to 25, 30 yards, you need to think about transitioning to a slug load. If the fight has to go on, the distance is increased, you need to change to slug so you can stop that threat.
Now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to transition from the bird shot that's in the magazine tube and place this slug into the mag tube and then into the chamber. Right now, in law enforcement, I would consider this to be cruiser ready. Magazine tube is got its bird shot or double-aught buck in it. The chamber is empty, the action is forward and closed and locked, and the safety is on position. This is a cruiser ready position that we would call in law enforcement. First comes out the slug, because the distance has changed. I insert my slug, run my action, put my first round into the chamber, insert my second slug into the magazine tube, and I'm prepared now to fire my first round. At this point in time, if the distance changed and got closer, I still have my 3 bird shots in the magazine tube to take that distance if I needed to, or double-aught buck. Now what I'm going to show you is I have now moved from inside my house where I've used bird shot to a longer distance outside. I'm going to have to insert my slug into the magazine well, operate the action, which will eject the live bird shot, insert a slug into the chamber area, insert my other slug, and then fire my round. We now have just completed a transition, nothing in the chamber to a slug in the chamber, or having bird shot or double-aught buck in the chamber and transitioning to the slug. Either way allows you to get distance outside or be close on the inside. Remember, know your shotgun, know your equipment, learn how to do the transitions. It will save you time and it will save you stress. Just learn how to work your shotgun or the equipment that you're using, and it will save your life.